Alright, what is up, YouTube? It is K-Rod here. I'm back with another good boxing video for y'all today. We're gonna be talking about Mr. Vasyl Lomachenko. Uh, um, Basically, uh, talking down on Devin Haney, and we're gonna talk about George Kambosos wanting to fight Vasyl Lomachenko next. And yeah, I'm just gonna break it down, and this will be my final video of the night, and then I'll upload everything by tomorrow, or by tonight actually. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to chop it up on. But let's get right to it. Vasyl Lomachenko states that Devin Haney is not worth a challenge to him. I'm obviously paraphrasing on that, but I will basically state that, Vasyl Lomachenko obviously, thinks Devin Haney is not on his level. And George Kambosos is eyeing at Vasyl Lomachenko next. And my initial thoughts on this is I don't think Vasyl Lomachenko is a good fighter anymore. I think Vasyl Lomachenko is very vulnerable at 135. But where he's at right now, knowing that he's gotten two good back-to-back wins against, Masayoshi Nakatani and Mr., Richard Comey, which was his recent, victory, 12-round unanimous decision victory. I thought Lomachenko did decent. He didn't, obviously, perform at the highest, standard, but he is definitely a much better, more aggressive Lomachenko, where he's actually pressing you more. And I think Lomachenko, he is a extremely talented fighter, and he definitely knows what he's doing in there. But the level of competition that Loma has fought are against guys that everybody knew Nakatani was not that type of fighter to be anything big, but knowing that he got a good victory over Felix Verdejo, and that was pretty much it, leading from the past from a Teofimo Lopez loss, and then now Lomachenko loss. That doesn't really that doesn't really say too much. Nakatani is not this type of fighter that people say he is, but Lomachenko obviously fought him for the sake of just showing how low level Nakatani really is. And I don't really care so much about that win, because that win really doesn't show Lomachenko to be that much of a threat. And people want to say Lomachenko, he's on a tear, he's on a mission. He looks a lot more dangerous than the previous versions of his career, and I would say no. I think Lomachenko is still the same Loma from 2015 or 2016. I really don't, or basically Lomachenko hasn't shown anything different to me, but I will say Lomachenko, he has a more aggressive southpaw type of style. He's not the most dangerously talented southpaw. He's not like one of those traditional, aggressive come forward southpaw fighters. But he's a really good semi boxer, volume puncher type of southpaw fighters. So I like that out of Lomachenko. Lomachenko is a very heavily spirited fighter, in which I mean to say that Lomachenko, he's not afraid of taking risk versus what he did in the past, because Lomachenko, he wasn't as how should I say, he wasn't as confident enough to go in and take risk with certain fighters that could actually hit. And I think what shows that of Lomachenko's skill set is that he is a very, very good fighter for what he could show to you against a style that favors him. But against a style that does not favor him, Lomachenko, he gets slaughtered. I think there's a pure reason why Lomachenko did not want to take the fight against Devin Haney, when Devin Haney was his mandatory for quite a while, and Lomachenko basically surrendered the belt, or the WBC belt, through WBC franchise, political status, to avoid Devin Haney. Because if Lomachenko wasn't able to get that, he still would have surrendered it to Devin, and then people would have known from the beginning that Lomachenko never wanted to fight Devin Haney. And, I mean, it's pretty much cut clear and dry that Loma never wanted Haney, because if he really did, he should have just fought Haney, and boom, Lomachenko would have been undisputed. But I think it was just that one particular fight where Lomachenko knew he wasn't doing anything spectacular at 135. And I mean, Devin Haney was supposed to get a shot leading up to the Luke Campbell fight, but for some weird reason, Luke Campbell got the shot over Devin, and Devin had to basically take step-aside money, where he had to sit back in the sidelines and wait for the winner of that fight, and Devin was supposed to fight him. So Devin had been chasing Lomachenko for quite a long time, leading up to his lightweight title reign, and Devin hasn't gotten any credibility ever since he took basically over Lomachenko's status as a champion. So ever since Lomachenko lost to Teofimo, Lomachenko, he's been a lot more focused, and he's been a lot more dedicated to his career. And I think it pretty much shows, like, Devin Haney is, he is the ultimate truth. He is, the most dangerous prodigy out there, next to Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis. And it just shows, like, how much of a heavily gifted fighter Devin is to a lot of these high-level, veteran IQ fighters like Lomachenko, because Lomachenko, he can fight. He is a very dangerous threat to whoever he fights when he's focused. But Lomachenko, ever since the Teofimo loss, hasn't shown anything, how should I say, hasn't shown anything risky to any future opponent matchups to make anyone say Lomachenko, is going to cause any problems to the lightweight division. And knowing that George Kambosos wants to fight Lomachenko next just shows that Lomachenko, he's already, in political protectionism with Bob Arum. And otherwise, Lomachenko wouldn't have gotten, these fights to begin with against Richard Comey and Nakatani, because they were obviously set up to, politically prioritize Lomachenko to face Teofimo Lopez, the minute he gets past George Kambosos. But now that the tables have turned, it looks like George Kambosos is basically another Teofimo Lopez. He was all part of what the political setup, where Kambosos was going to make this money, with all those belts, and then he's going to run with this political phrase to say that he's undisputed. And he tries to say that he's not undisputed, and the WBC is obviously lying about him being undisputed. He has to fight Devin Haney to settle the deal. Then why not fucking fight Devin Haney and stop, making up these damn excuses to not fight him, and stop, making up this bullshit to say that you're gonna fight Lomachenko. Because I swear, if Kambosos decides to fight Lomachenko next, I think Lomachenko is going to fuck around and stop him. And if Kambosos screws up that opportunity, where he fucks up basically the money with Devin Haney, which I don't think it's really going to do George any justice for fighting Loma. But if George is able to fight Loma, which I highly doubt, because the WBA had recently stated that they are looking to mandate Kambosos and Gervonta Tank Davis next. But if that is to be true, Lomachenko, he's out of the picture. But if Lomachenko and Kambosos is next, you best believe Bob Arum's going to have that shit on some top ranked venue. And it's just going to be Lomachenko's night where he's just going to become a 2-time unified, undisputed lightweight champion. So it's just like, I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's where the political setup fix will be in. And I don't think Kambosos is going to last that long being a world champion. But who knows what, who knows what the future can hold. But I think Devin Haney either needs to move up to 140 or give it one more shot and try to force or try to, make that fight with, George Kambosos. Try to work with Eddie Hearn to try to offer some big, money offers to give to Kambosos if he's willing to fight Devin. In which Kambosos said he's willing to fight Devin, but at the same token, it looks like George Kambosos, he doesn't want to fight Devin because he sees how, skill-wise Devin is as a fighter, to which he knows what Devin Haney's, going to do to him, and he knows that Devin Haney is a huge risk and a big financial threat to his, lightweight title reign. So he rather basically just milk it out, try to make Devin Haney, make Devin Haney leave 135 to the point where it's going to be basically Kambosos and Lomachenko to face each other, and then let's just say Lomachenko beats the living crap out of Kambosos, and then whoever fights for Devin Haney's WBC title will face Lomachenko for undisputed. That's basically what's going to happen. It's going to be some stupid political BS that's going to be set up by Top Rank or possibly, PBC or whoever that's going to come in and try to swoop up Devin's belt the minute he leaves 135 to go up to 140. And I think Devin Haney at this point needs to move up to 140 because he can't handle 135 no more. He's said it on multiple occasions that 135 is getting harder to make now. And I think Devin should really listen to his body and listen to his trainer, that being Mickey Bay, where, him and Mickey Bay, they have to make a really tough decision in either vacating that belt and going up to 140, or if they're going to stay at 135, you better only stay there for unifications, or maybe continue facing some credible names as mandatory opponents. But either way, I think Devin's in a good spot. He obviously really doesn't need to be at 135. I think Devin scales better. Like I said in the past, he scales better at 140. But only time will tell. But I like to see Devin at 140 as soon as possible, because if he keeps draining himself out to 135, which I truly believe he's drained at that weight, he's not going to look as good as many people say he will in the near future. So I think Devin, he needs to, take a chance at going up to 140, and, he'll do the things that he's able to do. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. I think George Kambosos and Lomachenko have the political fix in to try to fight each other, and Devin Haney, he's being blackballed out of existence. So I don't know why Devin's being blackballed for the sake of him wanting to, fight the best, but it's very evil and very disrespectful of how Devin's being treated, and I would hope that gets fixed very soon. But it makes me believe more and more to think Devin is not going to get his time to shine at 135, and it's going to screw him over long term. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think Lomachenko and Kambosos will fight next, or do you think Gervonta will come in and steal the show where he could be mandated to fight George Kambosos for his titles? So I don't know, man. I think the lightweight timeline is going to be very interesting, and it's going to be very uh cool to see what the future may hold for the division. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys later. Thank you and goodbye.